Recognized, ma'am.
Thank you. You know, Mr. Bean, you admonished those of us who might believe the quote-unquote hype that this big, beautiful bill would harm families and small businesses and workers. Well, I think this big, beautiful bill is just a big bonanza for billionaires. And I'm gonna tell you, when historians, researchers, and scientists study this bill and this country's fray and fall, this day, May 13th, 2025, and the markups of Energy and Commerce, the Ag Committee, and this prestigious Ways and Means Committee will be Exhibit A of the breach of the American social contract, the e pluribus unum, envisioned by our founders, as we dismantle health care benefits for at least minimally 14 million people. We destroy the health care infrastructure of hospitals, nursing homes, home care, community health centers, as we undermine the Affordable Care Act and Medicare, as we take food from the mouths of babies and older adults, as we interrupt breakthrough medical research, as we retreat from saving our planet from climate change and other things, and as we add $5 trillion and upwards to our debt, all of this to provide monies and breaks to the ultra wealthy. You know, these are choices that we're going to make, but I am saying to my Republican colleagues, this, no matter what you've done in Congress, this will be your legacy. And as Liz Cheney warned you, Donald Trump will be gone. But this, when people Google you, when your descendants Google you, this will be your legacy. And let me say, you know, all these talking points, you know, all this wordsmithing, you know, these are the facts right here. You're not doing this because of debt reduction. You're adding trillions of dollars to the debt for these tax cuts for the rich. You're not doing it for economic growth. The trickle down hasn't worked for 40 years, and it just hasn't trickled, and it ain't gonna trickle. That trickle down economics has been debunked. This is not about work and work requirements. If it had been, we would have been expanding the earned income tax credit. This is not about helping small businesses. You know, we would not be increasing the $199A deduction instead of doing something meaningful for working families. Don't tell me that this is what the MAGA base wanted. The MAGA base, as Steve Bannon told us, need Medicaid. This is not what they asked for. And I'm telling you, anybody with basic understanding of math, including our colleagues in the Freedom Caucus, can tell you that this is not going to reduce our deficit at all. And I just want to say, you know, you can fool yourself, but you cannot fool the real numbers. And the thing that is so outrageous is to hear people talk about how this is going to help families, and boost the child tax credit. It's a trick. You do it temporarily so you can get through the 2026 election cycle. Good luck with that. And then these benefits for children and elders and workers disappear, while the tax benefits to the ultra-wealthy soar. You know, 3 months into President Trump's term, the chorus of MAGA and others is growing louder. This is not what they signed up for. And they're realizing that this tax reconciliation bill is coming after them and will hurt their families. Not only are you taking health care away from people, you know, they will have access to fewer goods and services because of the tariffs. The promised jobs are not going to materialize. I believe, as Democrats believe, in building from the bottom up. This means that none of our kids go hungry, that they all have access to higher quality education, not just some of our kids. And I urge my colleagues to join me in voting no on this big bonanza for billionaires. And I yield back.
Gentleman yields. Mr. Boyle, you're recognized to strike a last word.